Hi boys and girls, Mrs. Woodlief here. So glad to see you. I have an exciting art assignment for you. Let's get started. Today you're going to draw a one-point perspective landscape. You will need paper and pencil, a ruler or a straight edge, and a Sharpie or a marker. Now, let's get started. Okay, boys and girls, I'm going to lead you through the steps of making a landscape using one-point perspective. If you'll look at the picture above in the small picture, you can see an example, one that I am going to follow so you know what to aim for. So we're going to try and make something like this. So here we go. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the horizon, which is right about below, not in the middle, but below the middle. There you go. And you want to make certain that your ruler is not crooked. You want to try your best to make sure that this is even, the same amount of space up, so that it's level. Then with your pencil, you're going to make a line like this. Now what you just did is you made the horizon. The horizon, that is where the sky meets the ground, right there, the horizon. Very important. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to make a dot on that line, the horizon line, not in the center, but off to the right. You can see again, if you look up at the picture, you can see where I'm going with this. And I'm also going to write what that dot is called. That's called the vanishing point. Very important, vanishing point. What that means is all lines will lead to that vanishing point and they would vanish at the horizon. Next step, we're going to make the road. So I'm going to put my pencil right here on the vanishing point. And I'm going to put my ruler right next to it. Now I'm not going to make it straight up and down, but I'm making it slightly diagonal off to the left, holding my ruler securely and making a line along the straight edge. That is the side of the road. I'm going to move my ruler again, not like this. I'm definitely lining it up with the vanishing point again and making an opening right here. I would say about as wide as my hand. You can see I'm putting my hand here and it's about that wide. So here we go. So this is going to be the beginning of your road and you will add some shading and detailing to that. Now the next step, we're going to make the trees. Now I want you to notice the trees in the picture. The ones in the foreground are tall, and then as they go farther back into the background, they get shorter, shorter, and shorter. So it's as if those trees are all the same size, but yet as they get farther back, they get shorter and shorter. So here we go. I'm going to start by making my first tree right about here in the foreground. I'm just going to make this part, and I'm going to be thinking of the letter Y. There's a Y, and remember these are they're very, very curvy. Okay, that's going to be my tallest tree. From this point on, my trees are going to get shorter. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to line up my ruler with that tallest tree and line it up with the vanishing point again. And very lightly, because I'm going to erase this later, very lightly I've made a line to show where the top of that tree is aligned down here with the vanishing point. You can see. Now I'm going to erase that in a little while. Also, I want you to look at the bottom of this tree where the roots go down into the ground. I'm going to line up my ruler with the bottom of the tree and again with the vanishing point. That vanishing point, all lines lead to the vanishing point. So very lightly, I'm going to make a line there. Now, this line that I just made, this is where the roots are. This is where my tree is going to grow right out of the ground, right here on the line that we just made. So I'm going to make my tree and I'm going to stop at this line. So look at that. And now I'm going to make another one. Now here's what's going to happen. See how I stopped at that line? I want you to notice that those trees are getting shorter, but they're not only getting shorter, the distance between those trees are getting smaller. So this is a little wider than this one. And the next tree, and notice my trees are not diagonal, they're going straight up. There's one. Look at that space, smaller than this one. This is smaller than this one. So I'm going to add another one, and another one, and another one. And maybe one more. Now look at that. I'm going to use my marker now, and I'm going to make these a little darker. Notice I'm making very sketchy lines. When you look at the tree, you see the very much you can see the letter Y. Do you see that right there? And then these branches come off the side diagonally. So here's another one. I'm just tracing back over it. Okay. So I really, this line is going to go away, so I'm going to erase it, because I don't need that line anymore. That was just a guideline. I also don't need this line anymore. I most definitely need my horizon line. I'll take that away, since we all know what horizon lines are. Here's my vanishing point, and now I'm going to make a line on the road. Just like this. Okay, let's see what other details I can add. All right, when I shade this in, I need to be sure I make my shading lines go down like this. So watch, I think I'm going to go back to my pencil. Let's color that in a little bit. And I'm going to do the sky. And if you look at the picture again that's floating up above you, the example, you can see that the shading is close to the horizon and it gets lighter higher up. And maybe I might want to make some little shadows here. Maybe there's some light casting these shadows off to the side from the tree. That's looking pretty good. I might put my sun right about here. Maybe erase that. Yeah. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Now if you want to add more, you can. You can leave it the way it is, or you can add some foliage. I'll go switch back to my Sharpie. There you go. Looking pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Make my shadows off to the side. Now that I'm doing this work with Sharpie, it's become very clear to me I need to add a little bit more Sharpie work. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I like it. So what do you think? How's yours look? Next, I'd like you to sign your name. You are done. Good job. Now, it's your turn. Let's get started.